let me show you how to restore some Hot Wheels super vans. Hello everybody, my name is Trevor Slescu and I'm the owner of Monster Hobbies in High River, Alberta, Canada. Well, tonight I'm going to actually do something kind of cool, kind of different. I'm going to take apart these 5 Chevy super vans and I'm going to restore them and turn them into special little items. I'm not going to get into too much detail on it. Hopefully I'm not going to drop them on the floor. But these cars I actually had when I was young and I repainted them. In fact, I hate to say this, but one of them actually was my sister Lisa's. But anyway, this one's kind of interesting. This is a Comox van, and I had a friend named Duncan, and his parents actually owned a geology company, and this was their Comox van. Well, not an official one. This is one that I took and I painted with, all these were painted with Testors enamels. For those of you who remember them, they came in bottles like this. Okay, so anyway, I painted all these vans with Testors enamel when I was about like 7 or 8. There's a brown one, you can see I painted the windows too, which this one was kind of cool. It's sort of got a brown, green, and zinc yellow paint job to it with a blue windshield. But getting back to this Comox van, my friend Duncan, his parents had this company, so I painted up a van and wrote their logo on it, or their letters, and I showed it to them back in the day and they thought that was pretty cool. Then I took a picture of this one and put it on Facebook and tagged my friend Duncan, and he says, "Hey, that's great, I remember riding in these vans with no seatbelts in the back." So there you go. So these are all going to actually come apart and get repainted. So now let's go down and I'll show you at least taking apart one of them. So come on down and, well, come to my vise. Well, here we are right down on the big scary vise. And actually, before we do anything with this, you'll notice this mud on here. This is historic mud, but I'm going to get rid of it. This is from the 2013 High River flood. Now, these cars are in my basement at the time, sitting in a box on the floor, and they got some of the mud that came up through the basement drain. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this and go upstairs and clean it. But actually, before I do, I got the idea of restoring these super vans by watching a fellow called Wheels and Fangs, who has a YouTube channel and a Facebook. And he did one of these vans and he painted it green, then he gold leafed it afterwards. Yeah, but yeah, as you can tell, I mean, these wheels look pretty dirty on here. So, but I got that idea for doing these from his channel. So what he was saying is that if you look at some of these rivets here, these vans all came out about 1974, 1975, somewhere in there. And if you look at the rivets here, they've actually got like a divot in the center, which is really nice because when I use the drill, I can put the drill bit right into that divot and then drill it out. And unfortunately, I don't think I have the taps and dies that he has to put brand new screws into the bottom to make these unscrewable. But I'll see what I got. Right now I'm more concerned about showing you guys how I clean up windshields and all the rest. So, sorry Duncan, there goes your Comox van. It's going to be the first one to get a restoration. And now here on my vise, I've got these nice big awful teeth that are going to cut that waffle pattern right into the car. But actually, I've got the poor boy solution because I don't have those nice rubber pads for my vise like Wheels and Fangs does. So I'm using this piece of thick bubble stuff. I tested this on another car prior to this, but I hope this is going to work. Just give it a little tension into the vise here. Yeah. And then I'll try this, and if it falls straight through, then you know I gotta do something better. But first I will scrub off all this mud, and then we'll drill these rivets out of here. Okay, so here's what the old Comox fan looks like after getting a nice scrubbing with the toothbrush with some hand soap on it. In fact, it came up pretty nice actually. Got all that High River mud off. The bottom is really clean, you know, for what it's worth. I don't think I'm going to you know, try to buff this with a Dremel tool with some wax on it or anything. I think it's kind of okay as it is. Without further ado, let's take this thing apart. Oh, but before we do, you might notice here, I think I used an X-Acto knife on this windshield when I was a kid to scrape the white paint off it. So I have a set of LGM polishing cloths. They're sandpaper. I hope I can smooth that out so it looks at least transparent. And just like Wheels and Things was saying, you can see this is a very rough casting for Hot Wheels. There's a lot of metal flash sticking out on the bottom of that lip there. But it isn't quite as bad. I think if you look at his van around the windshield, there's a lot of flash in there, but mine seems to be pretty okay, at least till we take the glass out. And yeah, I painted the headlights yellow when I was young. I guess they're supposed to be on. Okay, now let's throw this in the vise, and I'll grab a drill bit, and I will drill out these rivets. Okay, this may be a bit hard to see because that bubble pack is right in the way. I hope this is going to work okay. Experiment X. Okay, here we go. Boy, I don't know. I would not recommend having your thumb under there. Try the back rivet. Resistance is too much. Now I'd have a drill press, but the chuck broke on me. So I think that's got the back rivet there. I'll try the front here. The rivet's pretty low on there. I don't know if I cleared the peg yet. Maybe I should go a little deeper on them. Yeah, so here we go. Here we go again. Getting in some historic metal here. See if I can break it apart with a flathead screwdriver. If I can find a flathead screwdriver. Still Still looks like I might need to go a bit deeper with that drill. Can't remember how he got his apart. Well, that did it. Okay. Oh, I see some green in here. See that green? I wonder if this was one of the army vans from way back. Now it's wet inside here too, and that's because of me washing in the sink. But yeah, that looks like the green that might have been off the old army van. Not too sure. At any rate, yeah. Oh yeah, I can see that windshield is a bit rough. But let's pick up the parts from the ground. Okay, there's the underbelly. As you can see, it's still got that high river mud in there. Very nice. No, not really. And then it's got these metal bits pinching that axle down. Ooh. Looks like I got a little alignment trouble on this. Don't know. Don't think I can bend that straight inside the car. That's interesting. Body sits on that little peg. And there's that interior. Dashboard, windshield, all one piece. Can kind of see through it. Smoked glass. Not so good, but yeah. The old Comox van. So I'm going to go upstairs again. I'm going to scrub this side out and maybe wash inside. Scrub all the dirt out of this thing from the high river flood. So after a little bit of cleanup and scrubbing, this is how nice the undercarriage came out. And of course our body once again. And there's a green under there. And there's our interior, which came out quite nice. Now I haven't done the windshield yet. There is just a little bit of paint here, which I think I can just get that with my fingernail, more or less. Okay, now this windshield, that's something to have a look at. So we'll just move our camera down here. Alright, our windshield here. And like I said, I mean, this is kind of rough. So I've got this paper here. Let's see if I can get my X-Acto knife scratches out of the glass from 35 to 40 years ago. Well, I'm 44 this year, so I don't think I would have done this at 4 years old. Okay, now normally this sandpaper should be wet for this, but I don't have any water down here, I should say. Not yet, anyway. So that's starting to take some of the scratches out of there. I don't think this windshield's going to be perfect by any means when I'm done, but I'm going to use this LGM polishing cloth after I go through these regular sandpapers here. Try to bring this thing up to as transparent as I can get. So unfortunately, unlike wheels and things, I don't have the high-speed high-speed photography to speed this up. So I'm just going to have to do this as we go along. Now this should be 400. Now with plastic, you don't want to use any sandpapers lower than about 320. Because otherwise you'll gouge in some serious scratches in there that you'll never get out. think there's still a little band of paint at the top of this windshield. Okay, let's try a little 600. This one with the gray backing. This looks like a disaster, but rest assured it should be okay. At least my thumb doesn't have to go very far. Starting to feel smoother. Let's do a little 800 here. Feel the window getting warm. Okay, there's 800, and now you're starting to see it's becoming a little bit more transparent to the back of that paper. And then I've got this 1000 grade. I can go up to 1500 with my little bits of sandpaper. Trying to go in one direction here too. Now, that's feeling a lot smoother, but it does look foggy. What I'm going to do is switch over to my LGM polishing cloths, which are right here. Now, sorry, I'm so close to the camera. Now these go from 2400 grade, so there. I've had these for a long time. They go up to 12,000 grade. And then what we do is we'd wax the window, but I have run out of wax a very long time ago. So I'm going to do my best with the sandpapers. So let's get some water so I can do this as a wet sand. So I made a little mistake in my description here. These sandpapers actually start at 1800. I've had them so long that, of course, the numbers have actually worn out of the back of the backing of the sandpaper. So these are mounted on cloth. So I'm using my 1800 here. See, now we're getting a little clearer. Here comes 2400 next. $2,400. A little piece of cardboard here is going to get wet. So I got a bunch of shadows I'm dealing with here. I'm too impatient to bring the track lighting around though. I'm as excited to see this come up as you are. Okay, 3200 next. It's going to get followed up with 3600. And then 4,000, 6,000, 8,000, 12,000. I wish I could get subscribers to my channel that quickly. Okay, here comes 36. Getting clearer anyway. Now I hope I have this in the right order, because as you can tell that was yellow on the back and I can't read any more numbers on it. And this one has some numbers, but I'm not sure if that's... Oh, it looks like 6,000. Okay, so I'm on the right track. Should really start writing this down now. What you think is yellow is 4,000 grade. Here it is. See, these polishing rags are actually meant for model car paint jobs. This is what I used to use to get that super high mirror finish on my model cars for contests and shows. I don't know if these guys are still around or not, but I know there's other polishing kits out there. So here's Here's 6,000. Okay, followed by the 8,000. And the other thing that I can do here is you can add a bit of soap in this too. And the soap sort of helps to take away the dust and to make this a bit clearer. Okay, and now the 12,000. Now if I had the wax, this would make it all the better at the very end of the video here, or the glass cleaning part of the video, because with a little rag and some wax you can actually get it as shiny as you can. But under these circumstances I can only go up to 12,000, which this looks dirty. I got nothing here to dry this with. But there's our window now, and as you can see, you're starting to get transparency through that glass. Okay, I found something to dry this off with. A little paper towel here. Yes, the LGM polishing kit is quite a nice thing to get. It still looks scratchy though. At least you can see through it. Yeah, it's not picking it up on camera. Oh, yeah, see right about here. But keep in mind, I gouged this with a hobby knife, so, you know, even to get this far is pretty decent. Now, I've heard somewhere that actually a paper towel has a really, really fine sanding surface to it. So does toilet paper, believe it or not. But it has kind of, I don't know, given it a bit of a sheen. But I think the thing is, when this body gets together here and the glass goes in, let's see, let's do it the Hot Wheels way. So there it is on the peg. Okay, now, okay, dashboard locked in place. I don't know if it looks that much different. Just looks kind of shiny. I could have just painted... Oh, no, wait. Yeah, I don't know. A smoke-tinted windshield like that would not be legal in this day and age, that's for sure. But hey, you could get away with a lot in the 70s. Now, I'm not just here to polish glass. Let's actually take this apart again and strip the paint. Hey guys, I actually did find something I could try to use. A little bit of Silvo. Now this is metal polish for silver. It's the best I got. So I'm going to try that on the front window here. And I got a nice green rag for it. And I'll just try to get a little Silvo out of the top of the bottle. I redid the window try to get some more of those deep scratches out of there, but I don't know. This thing's pretty bad. See, when I was young, I didn't know about drilling out rivets, right? So I had to scrape the window off from the outside. From the outside, from the outside. Oh, the silvo's working. Giving it a little sheen. There, see that sheen there? The silvo shine. Okay, yeah, you can see through it now. You can see the little specks on the inside. I think that was some paint or whatever getting thrown into it on the back. I'm not going to bother to try to clear that out of there. I also notice there's a little bit of paint on the top. There's actually a little ridge right there. Hard to tell, but there it is. So you notice the scratches are not as, well, maybe they are, I don't know. Yeah, they are. But I tried to give it a second coat. I tried cross-sanding it just to get that up a little, but I mean, it's better than what it was. Definitely better than what it was. Oops, get a little silvo on that dash. It's got an interesting dashboard. There's a steering wheel and a couple of gauges. Don't know how accurate that is to Duncan's old van, but interesting transparent seats here too. Smoke pattern seats. I guess smoked glass was pretty cool back in '75 when this van was made. Everybody, you know, it's funny how these little technological wonders that we have come about, you know. Like, one day all glass is just clear and it's flat. You know, like a 32 Ford has a very flat windshield, right? Then somebody comes along and goes, let's take that flat windshield and let's actually bend it in the middle, but we can't bend the glass yet. So they take a post and put it in the middle, and then you get stuff like your 1939 Ford windshield and whatever, right? And then that goes on for a long time, and then in 1951 they figure out how to bend glass, so they don't need the post down the middle of the windshield anymore. They can actually bend it and form it. So then you get up into these years, and all of a sudden they figure out how to do smoked glass, and now smoked glass becomes the most popular thing ever, right? Well, it's just too bad you can't really see through that windshield, because when you're looking in, I mean this way, it just looks black because you can't see the transparency, and you can see it if you turn it that way, see? But it's hard for the camera to get in at that angle. So anyway, I just have to take my word for it that that glass is as good as I can ever get it.